We have another fun, hilarious, administration-compliant show. What are you doing? Shut up. Blow this for us.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried that we won't keep saying what we want to say or that we'll be censored. But I'm going to cover the president's trip to the UK just like I normally would. Well, guys, President Trump just wrapped up his 3-day trip to the UK, and he
looked incredibly handsome.
I just want to say before we get started here that I've always admired and respected Mr. Trump. I've always believed he was, a visionary, innovator, a great president, and even better golfer.
When Jimmy Kimmel's show got suspended after pressure from Donald Trump, the entire late-night world stood up and unloaded into the thin-skinned dictator. Colbert, Fallon, Myers, Stewart, hell, even David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, and Jay Leno, who don't even have shows anymore, came to Kimmel's defense.
We all see where this is going, correct? It's managed media, and it's no good, it's silly, it's ridiculous, and you can't go around firing somebody because you're fearful or trying to suck up to an authoritarian, criminal administration in the Oval Office. That's just not how this works.
This isn't just about one host. It's about whether satire and commentary itself survive when people like Donald Trump and his lackey FCC chair Brendan Carr decide comedy is too dangerous.
It feels to me like shutting down this type of speech would represent a serious threat to our freedoms. And you know who else thinks that? Brendan Carr in 2020, when he tweeted, "From internet memes to late-night comedians, political satire helps hold those in power accountable. Shutting down this type of political speech, especially at the urging of those targeted or threatened by its message, would represent a serious threat to our freedoms." Oh man, do not tell Brendan Carr that Brendan Carr said that, or he's going to get Brendan Carr to cancel Brendan Carr.
Colbert didn't just defend Kimmel, he mocked the whole suspension with the parody video of Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast wearing a MAGA hat ordering employees to shut up or risk losing their shows.
Shut your trap. Shut your trap. We're warning you to cut the crap. Our dear leader's skin is thinner than a sheet of plastic wrap. Mum's the word, have you heard? Kissing us is what's preferred. Don't insult our great dictator, or he'll hit you with this turd.
That's the power of comedy. Take an absurd act of censorship and push it to its logical extreme until it's even more ridiculous. And nothing says family-friendly Disney like one of their most beloved characters turned into a Trump goon. Comedy has always been the last safe space for truth when politicians try to rewrite reality. Nixon had Carlin, Bush had Stewart, Trump, well, he's got a full Avengers lineup of late-night comics. And that terrifies him. Why? Because comedians reach people in ways that politicians and journalists just can't. They use laughter to cut through spin, and they use absurdity, package it into punchlines, and make you see the truth that you were too exhausted to look at.
America, we have a little something called the First Amendment. And let me tell you how it works. There's something called a talent-o-meter. It's a completely scientific instrument that is kept on the president's desk. And it tells the president when a performer's TQ, talent quotient, measured mostly by niceness to the president, goes below a certain level, at which point the FCC must be notified to threaten the acquisition prospects for billion-dollar mergers of network affiliates. These affiliates are then asked to give ultimatums to the even larger megacorporation that controls the flow of state-approved content, or the FCC can just choose to threaten those licenses directly. It's basic science. Read your Constitution!
He didn't need to defend Kimmel directly. The sarcasm did the heavy lifting. By pretending to praise Trump's clear rules, Stewart exposed just how authoritarian those rules really are.
Some naysayers may argue that this administration's speech concerns are merely a cynical ploy, a thin gruel of a ruse, a smokescreen to obscure an unprecedented consolidation of power and unitary intimidation, principleless and coldly antithetical to any experiment in a constitutional republic governance. Some people would say that. Not me, though. I think it's great.
That's not just late-night filler. It's a warning because Trump and his allies are openly using government pressure and corporate leverage to silence their critics. Brendan Carr of the FCC said that broadcasters should oppose programming that falls short of community values. Translation, programming that insults dear leader.
You've said that you restored free speech in America.
Yeah.
Is that free speech including for people who are harshly critical of you, for your political opponents, for people who say things you don't like?
I've become immune
treat
to
you
it.
unfairly?
I've become immune to it. There's never been a person that's had more unfair publicity than me, and that's why your network paid me $15 million, or $16 million, I believe, to be exact, George Slopadopoulos, and that's why CBS paid me a lot of money, too. And that's why I sued the New York Times 2 days ago for a lot of money. Because I'm winning. I mean, I'm winning the cases. And the reason I'm winning is because you're guilty, John. You're guilty. ABC is a terrible network, a very unfair network, and you should be ashamed of yourself. NBC is equally bad. I don't know who's worse. I think they're equally bad. And, you know, for you to stand there and act so innocent and ask me a question like that. But look, you paid a big price because you were dishonest, John. The reason I won that lawsuit was because you were dishonest. You were proven to be dishonest. And so you can't sit back and just say, oh, well, what do you think? You know, like you're some wonderful person. You're not a wonderful person. Frankly, you're a terrible reporter. You know it, and so do I.
I mean, can we just take a step back and realize that there's the insanity and absurdity of that entire exchange?
As we all know, Trump doesn't like to be criticized or mocked. That's why he's never gone to the White House Correspondents' Center. The tough guy can't take a f***ing joke. Trump wants to be flattered. That's why he holds his little cabinet meetings and forces everyone to go around the room and praise him.
He's actually doing the things that he promised that he would do. And Mr. President, it's been an honor to be part of it for the past 100 days.
Mr. President, the last 4 years, the world experienced a total lack of zero leadership under Biden. And then we've had 100 days of your leadership with respect, with strength.
President, your first 100 days has far exceeded that of any other presidency in this country, ever, ever. Never seen anything like it. Thank you.
President Trump, in your first term, when I had a chance to work with you as governor, you were courageous. The thing that's empowering this amazing group of people around this table, and you've probably assembled the greatest cabinet ever, is that this time you're not just courageous, you're actually fearless.
It's giving little dick energy. Oh, and remember in 2018 when Trump said that he wanted Americans to sit up at attention, like in North Korea?
Are we close to seeing Mr. Kim here at the White House?
Could happen. I mean,
they talked about that yesterday.
I would have him. Yeah, I think it's something that could happen. Yeah. Hey, he's the head of a country, and I mean, he's the strong head. Don't let anyone think anything different. Right. He speaks and his people sit up at attention. I want my people to do the same.
Trump constantly tells us who he is and what he wants, so believe him. If he's not getting flattery, he'll erase it or replace it. So when he pressured the networks and got his way, he bragged about it on Truth Social. Great news for America. The ratings challenge Jimmy Kimmel show is canceled. That leaves Jimmy and Seth, two total losers on fake news NBC. Their ratings are also horrible. Do it, NBC. President DJT. Trump had to sign the post, you know, just in case anyone who was reading that forgot who posted it on his account from his social network.
You are one pathetic loser.
But what we have here is the President of the United States celebrating the silencing of a critic. That's not democracy. That's how authoritarians behave. And it's not just late night hosts that are speaking out. Other comedians in the podcasting space are weighing in on it too.
This seems like a big attack on free speech. And yeah, I think we've been pretty staunchly in favor of free speech. And it is funny to watch right-wing people just become left-wing people. Because I said something about how you're a snowflake if you think you should be. If you agree with this, that's some snowflake shit. And somebody was like, you clearly don't even know what the First Amendment means.
Everybody thinking that Jimmy Kimmel being removed and indefinitely suspended from ABC means that you are winning, you're a fool.
Trump's attack on free speech is so unpopular that even right-wing commentators are speaking up about the FCC's threats.
I do not want the FCC in the business of telling local affiliates that their licenses will be removed if they broadcast material that the FCC deems to be informationally false. Why? Because one day the shoe will be on the other foot.
The chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, Brendan Carr, jumped up and he criticized Jimmy Kimmel's remarks. He threatened federal action against ABC affiliates who carried the show. What? Federal action if you carry the Jimmy Kimmel show? Does that seem right to you? Okay, again, if you're on the right and you cheered this on, do you understand? We never, ever, ever should be applauding federal action when it comes to speech.
You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if it is, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever, and there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think, there is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes, not to hurt other people, but to express his views.
I think it's safe to say that hell has officially frozen over because I found myself agreeing with Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Ben Shapiro in 1 week's time. This isn't random, it's part of a pattern. Trump and his allies attack books, they censor classrooms, they target drag reformers, and now they're coming after comedy. It's all the same playbook: control the narrative, crush dissent, reward loyalty, and punish critics. And as much as I loathe the blob known as Ted Cruz, even he said something that I agree with. Seriously, what the hell is going on this week?
Look, I like Brendan Carr. He's a good guy. He's the chairman of the FCC. I work closely with him. But what he said there is dangerous as hell. He says, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Oof. Well, all right. Ignoring Ted Cruz's god-awful accent there, he's not wrong. This is a clear case of mob-like intimidation to silence Trump's critics. Comedy isn't just about laughs, it's about truth-telling, and when comedians are being silenced, it's a warning sign for democracy.
The threat to comedy doesn't change the world, but it's a bellwether. We're the banana peel in the coal mine. When a society is under threat, comedians are the ones who get sent away first. It's just a reminder to people that democracy is under threat. Authoritarians are the threat to comedy, to art, to music, to thought, to poetry, to progress, to all those things. It's never been, all that is a red herring. It ain't the pronoun police, it's the secret police. It always has been, and it always will be. And this man's decapitated visage is a reminder to all of us that what we have is fragile and precious. And the way to guard against it isn't to change how audiences think. It's to change how leaders lead.
Thanks for watching What Was That? If you want more episodes, articles, and breakdowns, go to whatwasthat.show. Join the community and become a paid subscriber today. It's just me behind the scenes, so every bit of support really makes a difference. And if you'd rather listen on the go, you can find What Was That on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows. Until next time, I'm Gabe Sanchez, and this has been What Was That?